First flight, I puked. That was something which I can't forget at all. Yeah.
From puking to professionalism.
Yeah, P2P. That's see young people coming as a cadet and now my fellow pilots. And over a decade, it just makes me feel more older now when you say that.
That how much people think automation actually takes over from the pilot.
Yeah, we will talk exclusively about it.
Exactly.
Yes. All night, I was so excited, that my first solo flight as a captain is going to happen. So I was focusing there, then like tuck, 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 through the bag, sat himself, like started pre-flight checklist. Tuck, 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 tuck.
Yeah.
I asked him, can you slow down a bit, please? And I like, how old are you? That's the question, pointing his finger at me. I was so uncomfortable. It's very important to hold the right attitude for pilots. That comes on priority. I wouldn't expect skill at all for a brand new pilot because skill is developed with time. NG, the flight deck is okay, but Max is really beautiful. I don't want to get into a debate of Boeing Airbus. I think it's a very old debate.
Right, sir.
So let's not get there. But to answer your question, yes, automation helps. Pilot must be updated. Okay, let's spice it up a bit. It's
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Aviation Unplugged with your own and only Captain Varman. Today we're joined by a seasoned aviator who began his career in the US as a flight instructor back in 2007. With over 15 years in the industry and over 11,000 hours in the sky, he's now a captain in one of India's most youngest airlines based in Bengaluru. Hello, Captain Dinesh. It feels great to have you with us here today, sir.
Thanks much, Varman. Indeed, I'm always a pleasure and honor to be a part of here. Yes, let's go.
So, sir, you've been in the industry for over a decade now. How would you sum up your entire ride or experience in the industry so far?
Yeah, over a decade, it just makes me feel more older now when you say that. Yeah, it feels good because I started my career right after my high school. So that's why it appears that I've been in the industry for a very long time. But to summarize it, I'm really loving the step-ups happening in the career, and I see young people coming as a cadet and now my fellow pilots and taking command. It's something beautiful. So I feel live and let live, and it's beautiful. Industry is really nice.
Of course, sir. And just to clarify, I didn't mean you were old, okay? I mean, you really, being in person with you, really
I think I got to go color my hair tomorrow.
No matter how experienced we are, as I believe, there's always this first flight experience, whether it was your first flight as a cadet or your first flight as a professional. Can you walk us through the differences, how it was when you were a cadet versus how it was when you were a professional?
Great. For my training, my first flight, I puked. That was something which I can't forget at all.
It happens
gladly. Yeah, it does, no? Because first time you're seeing the skies from the flight deck view, and then with all the G-force up and down your body, never got tuned to it, so I can't forget that. And on the career basis, as a first flight on the airline, things were happening so fast and I wasn't. So that's an observatory flight.
Right.
Though I was just an observer. When both the pilots, the way they were operating the aircraft was so magical for me. When I see that, like, dude, how do you guys do the things so fast?
Exactly right.
But with time, you get to it, and then it becomes a part of your second nature of your life.
Right, sir.
So yeah, so these two things I can't forget. Vomiting and then getting surprised like how these guys do things so fast.
Professionalism.
Yeah.
From puking to professionalism.
Yeah, P2P. That's a nice way to say that. Yeah.
P2P. Despite aviation being a part of your life for so long, what is this one common misconception? We always have one that still surprises you to this very day about being a pilot.
About being a pilot, a lot of people think it's all about automation, autopilot. And that is something which I don't agree upon.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, you take off, you press one button and then everything does
Exactly.
which is a proper misconception, and I totally disagree with that.
Right, sir.
It's underrated thoughts of being a pilot, like everything is done. No, it is not done. It's something what we say it does.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
it is appalling that how much people think automation actually takes over from the pilot.
True.
But yeah, I mean, we will talk about automation.
Yeah, we will talk exclusively about it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sir, about the rapport chemistry that pilots usually have or tend to have when they're working together. How important do you think the chemistry is between a captain and the first officer inside the cockpit, especially maybe during long haul flights? How important do you think is the chemistry between a captain and a first officer?
Okay, let's spice it up a bit. It's number one.
I did mention chemistry, so
Yeah, of course. So
Yeah.
the chemistry, rather professionally, we call it as CRM, Crew Resource
Right,
Management, where it's comes for the safety first. If you do not have the right CRM, the safety chain breaks right there.
Right.
So keeping all these things apart, when you are in a good rapport with your fellow pilot, be it your first officer or your captain,
Right.
it does create a beautiful aura around you
Right.
throughout the flight, and not just you. When you vibe good, your people around you will also vibe good.
Of course.
I mean, for me, for example,
Yeah.
when I have a nice fellow first officer, I can still remember that particular person.
Right.
The way he was throughout, from the dispatch till we said bye, the humor sense, the energy, it kicked me up, it kept me super high
Right. So,
in positive vibes.
Yeah.
And when you are happy, your crew is happy. When crew is happy, passengers are happy. When passengers are happy, the airline is happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it starts from the zero to all the way. Chemistry, I would rather say the rapport, the
Yeah.
crew resource management, CRM is required.
Right.
It's ultimately required.
right, sir.
Else it's going to be boring.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. So this one experience that you still remember. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that particular person, you see, I'm still talking about him. That's the vibe that I'm talking.
Exactly.
You need to have a good one. So you'll be remembered for good.
Have you ever actually experienced any uncomfortable moments? I mean,
Yes, I do. I do remember that as well.
Right.
That was my first flight right after my command release.
right, sir.
I can't forget that because this departure is at 5:10 in the morning.
Right.
Flight from Calcutta to Bombay. All night I was so excited, that my first solo flight as a captain going to happen. My FO reports late, phenomenally late.
Right.
So I said, okay, chalo, I'll go to the aircraft. I set up the aircraft waiting for the first officer. He came just about 20 minutes before departure.
Right.
And then I said, hi, good morning. Everything is sorted. Just settle yourself and then let's start with the pre-flight checks and then let's get it going.
Right, sir.
He's not even having an eye contact with me.
Oh.
No hi, no hello, no good morning, or no apologies, nothing as
All on
such.
top of being late. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. I didn't focus much there because this is my first flight, so I have many more tasks to focus on.
exactly.
So I was focusing there. Then like tuck, through the bag, sat himself, like started pre-flight checklist. Tuck.
Yeah.
I asked him, can you slow down a bit, please? And I was like, slow? This is the first word he's saying.
Right.
Slow?
Yeah.
With the attitude.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Pre-flight checklist. CVR on. Oxygen tested. 100. Intentionally dragging it.
Dragging it. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I was biting my teeth. I said, chalo, let's go. Let's focus on the flight safety. That's more important.
Right.
While pushback, the first thing he asked me is, how old are you? That's the question. Pointing his finger at me. I was so uncomfortable. Like, I took command when I was in my 20s, but doesn't mean that, that
sir.
somebody has just given it for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, he's comparatively a bit elder than me, so it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter in the flight deck.
Right. Sir.
And then during taxi, second time.
Uh-huh.
How old are you? Asking me again.
Yeah.
I was like, let's focus here. We took off, initial climb phase, around say 1,500, 2,000 feet. Like, I'm asking you again and again, you're not saying, why are you feeling shy to tell your age? That's the question. I put automation on. Then I don't want to talk anything till 10,000. Once we go past 10,000, then I was like, okay, now it's time for us to talk. You want my age? Okay. Then I said, okay, how many hours do you have? He said, I have, 2,200 hours. That times 4 is what my experience.
Right.
So it's earned, it's not given.
Exactly.
And so these kind of things, it makes you put a bit unpleasant questions, which is inappropriate or irrelevant to your flights.
Right.
But these things which gets, but not everybody are like,
Exactly.
very few.
Exactly.
Yeah. And again, the CRM thing comes here.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
So I mean, this story. I mean, two extreme ends of professionalism. You on one side, reporting for your first flight as a captain at 5 o'clock in the morning, versus a first officer having no due regard, reporting late, and all those awkward questions, especially in
attitude matters a lot.
Exactly,
It's very important to hold the right attitude for pilots.
Right, sir.
That comes on priority.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
We've all seen instances where the captain has to take over from the first officer because one thing or the other is not going according to plan. So, in your opinion, What do you think are some captain instincts that only experience can teach you?
Well, I'm still learning. We all are learning. But with my experience, what I can say is the most and the critical phase, especially during flare to touchdown. So when you're a pilot monitoring and the pilot flying is flying the aircraft,
Right, sir.
that flare to touchdown is momentary part where you screw up a bit or delay things,
Right.
it will screw the landing big time.
Right.
So with experience, you'll get to know the trend of the forecast. Is it going to go well or not?
Right, sir. Yeah.
Well in advance.
Yeah.
So in my experience, I think I'm fair enough to figure out whether the landing is going to be okay or not.
Right.
If it isn't going, I have controls, go around,
Yeah.
come back for another approach.
Right.
So that's very important, and that's something which I have learned.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
So the captain's instincts kicking in.
Caps.
right?
It's not captain's instincts. I'd rather say it's just a pilot's instinct.
Yes, sir.
As a first officer, also, even as FOs, they also can figure out whether the captain is going to screw it or not.
Right.
So it's all about the pilot's instinct.
Right,
Yeah.
sir. Especially more important when you're training a very brand new first officer.
Yeah,
right?
that's also there. Yeah.
So moving on, this brings me to the next question. What one skill would you think is most important flying skill, basically? What important flying skill do you think new pilots tend to overlook? You wish they hadn't. Like, say you're brand new first officer. When they came to you, you wish that they had it before they came to you. What skill do you?
Well, I'll tell you what. Skill, and this is coded in ICAO as well. In our manuals. Skill is something which comes with experience only.
Right.
So you can't expect a brand new pilot with a skill.
Exactly.
So I would rather rephrase the question. I wouldn't expect skill at all
Right, sir.
for a brand new pilot because skill is developed with time.
Right.
As you gain experience, you gain skill.
Exactly.
So that's why we have a cockpit competency where if it's a brand new first officer, you need to have a fairly experienced captain.
Right, sir.
So we call a cockpit experience.
Right.
Airline to airline, it changes. Some has minimum of 750 hours in full in together, accumulatively.
Okay.
Some will have 500 hours. Again, the other way around. If you're flying with a brand new captain who just got released, you need to have an experienced first officer.
Oh, like the story that you just told us.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I was a brand new guy, this was, I think, 2019, if I'm not wrong.
Right, sir.
By then,
Yes.
my first officer was super experienced.
Right.
I mean, that is cockpit competency. So skill is not expected from a fresher.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be a tricky question. Sir. How do you actually handle stress during flights?
Well, you don't fly when you're stressed.
Right.
So there should be no stress.
Right.
We call it as an optimistic arousal.
Right.
I don't fly stressed. No pilot should fly stressed.
Right, sir.
It should be stress-free environment. Rather, it should be optimistically. We should be aroused where the brain is functioning with the maximum capacity of it. So no stress in flights at all.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So the answer is, if you're stressed, you don't fly.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
But they also do mention a good amount of stress, a healthy amount of stress is also required for pilots to do their duty properly.
Right. Yeah, that healthy amount of stress is what we call as that optimistic arousal.
Right.
So you need to be aroused,
Right, sir.
not stressed.
Right.
So yeah, that is very much required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So I guess my understanding of the concept might be slightly
No. Absolutely, you're right. I mean, question is a question.
Right, sir.
I'm here to answer that.
Right, sir. So you've been flying for quite a while now. What sort of changes do you think you've seen in aircrafts, especially when it comes to systems? These days, the aircrafts are all glass cockpit. From our trainee days, we've all flown glass cockpits.
Yes.
But back in the day, I'm sure you flew six-pack, olden instrument, modern conventional instruments. So what sort of effect does that have in commercial aviation?
See, these days, it's more of the legacy, I would say. The safety standards have increased a lot. For example, let's speak about just a 737 MAX that I fly.
Right, sir.
With just that one extra, that spoiler, which is digitally controlled, does multiple tasks.
Right, sir.
For example, even when we're in cruise at higher altitudes, and let's say we have a rapid decompression, and we want to bring the plane down faster,
Right.
there is extra deflection of spoilers, which enhances it to bring it down to the safer altitude, fastest and safest possible.
Right, yeah.
So this is the evolution. These things are not there in NGs, if you look into it.
Right, so the older aircraft.
Yeah. So all the modern technology, what they're introducing, it's all safety based.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, things look better as well. If you look at the flight deck also, NG flight deck is okay, but Max is really beautiful.
Right, sir.
And it's similar to 787 flight deck as well.
Right, sir.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm personally rated on the Airbus A320.
Oh, you're a 320 pilot. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
You're Airbus.
That's a whole debate altogether for a different day.
Wrong number. Sorry.
Not at all, sir. I mean, I'm sure pilots as a bunch, we tend to, I mean,
Yeah.
those small rivalries, even though they may be, aircrafts are aircrafts, right? Flying machines, the height of human engineering,
Absolutely.
they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
So, sort of coming back to autopilot that we initially had a small brief
Yeah.
about. So there's a lot of automation in the modern day cockpit, and there's also there's a story that comes with it, a common misconception, if you will, that automation basically takes over all the jobs for all of pilots' jobs, and
Right.
pilots basically do nothing. They push a button and they just sit there for the entirety of the flight. Now, you did give us a brief about this. Can you tell us in detail how actually automation is with pilots, with regard to pilot safety? How has it evolved through the years?
See, this is very important. Automation is a slave mechanism.
Right.
So it does what we say. Automation doesn't do on its own.
Right.
It's not artificial intelligence. That's what people think. Autopilot is there, which means everything is done. No, automation is a pure slave system, which means it helps you to overcome the physical inputs.
Right. Yeah.
But whatever the automation does, it doesn't do by itself. You say what to do and it does for you.
Right, sir.
Example.
Yeah.
I want to climb. Okay, hold the control column back for me. So instead of you pulling it and then holding it, locking it there, autopilot does it.
Exactly.
But autopilot doesn't climb on its own. So this is what people should understand. Automation is a pure slave mechanism where it just helps you to relieve your physical inputs.
Right, sir.
But it doesn't do anything on its own.
Exactly.
We say it does. So that's autopilot.
Pilots command and the
Yeah,
automation.
exactly. We say and it does.
Right.
And we say what we do, what we want.
Exactly.
And we do something wrong, autopilot will do wrong.
Exactly.
We do good and autopilot does it good.
Exactly.
So that's the simple language I would say.
Right.
Autopilot doesn't do everything. No way. It doesn't have brain. We have it.
Yes, sir. This is especially for those who mention that AI could even one day take over the jobs of.
Well, I doubt. I mean, at least not in our generation.
Right.
Probably.
Definitely. I mean, sitting on the other side of the wall, we can see that it's nowhere near.
Yeah.
if-
Artificial intelligence is there to enhance safety,
Exactly.
but not to hold the safety.
Right, sir.
So it helps to get the safety margins more better,
Right, sir.
but it doesn't hold the safety itself.
Exactly.
And that's my view.
Yes, sir. One other thing, sir. This is personally for me. Automation. I've heard that there's a lot of automation on the 320 more so than in the 737. I know the automation of the 320, and to be honest, there is a lot of automation that pilots can use. In commercial aviation, in your opinion, sir, does it actually does it actually decrease the pilot's workload wherein they can focus on other tasks, or does it actually make them slightly a bit lazy? The story, the magenta line, a story that that mentions it. Yeah.
See, again, the more the automation, the lesser the workload for you.
Exactly.
So it definitely reduces the workload. I totally agree with that. But I don't want to get into a debate of Boeing Airbus. I think it's a very old debate.
Right, sir.
So let's not get there.
As old
But
as
to answer your question, yes, automation helps to reduce the workload big time.
Right, sir.
Great.
Automation also, like we said, it keeps evolving, right? There's a lot of new systems being brought in.
Right.
How do you find time? Because pilots' rosters and scheduling and all, it's very tight usually. How do you find the time to actually stay updated on the new material that's being published, about the new systems that's being introduced? How do you find time to stay updated on that?
See, it's not nice to have thing. It's a need to have thing.
Yeah.
A pilot must be updated. I mean, this is no excuse for that.
Yeah.
We can't go and start a flight operation saying that, no, I didn't study.
Yeah.
As a part, in every airline across the world, we sign a briefing sheet.
Right, sir.
And there will be few clauses, disclaimers that I am updated
Right, sir.
about the latest circulars and all the manuals, and then you sign it.
You sign every
Sector,
Right.
not every day, every sector.
Right.
So there's no excuse to say, how do I find time? You make time to study. You have to.
Right.
You have to be updated. And
Oh,
I mean, it's a need to have it, as I
just
said.
a must. I mean,
Yeah, of course. You should be updated.
Yeah, listening to this even would put your mind like, what's this even? Is this even a
Yeah, see, I'll tell you what. Company releases flight safety circulars,
Right.
admin circulars, and operational circulars, and that gets into your iPad, and you have to read them within the stipulated time and digital sign it.
Right.
And then that gets into the database stating that, okay, this guy is updated, and it's a
Right.
must to have. If you don't read the latest circular, you'll get a mail from the company. Hey, what's
Right.
up?
Yeah.
He said something,
Right, sir.
and you didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So you have to make time. So what I generally do is, as a part of my routine, when I sit in my cab, when I go, it's a travel time of good 30, 40 minutes.
Right.
That time I use it for my studies.
Oh, nice.
So you're updated.
Yes, sir.
Your brain is awake. It's working before you reach a dispatch,
Right.
and your confidence is there.
Yeah.
So this is what I generally do, and that's the time that I use. I mean, it's not that something that you have to sit and study every day. Not like a 10th or high school kid.
Right, sir.
When you go in the cab, you read it, and that's it.
Yeah. So the cab thing also.
Yeah, that
before
works for me.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has a different preference.
Right.
Some will probably have the coffee in morning. So, I mean, for me, the cab thing works well.
Yeah. Plus, it stays fresh before you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, makes
You're running your mind. It's
Yeah.
warm up for your brain.
exactly.
So, yeah, it works.
Exactly. Warming up. In fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yes, sir. So it does remind me about my time back in training when I was doing my type rating. I remember, I mean, like you said, it's not a 10th or 12th standard. It's nothing basic. It's a professional course, and
Absolutely.
it's serious business.
Yes.
So they do expect you to know everything that is safety related and more.
Yes.
Before you actually go in. And yes, sir, it does remind me about my training days where I had to study a lot
True.
before going into every session.
Yeah.
So that's the taxi and warm up to the brain. I'll take that, sir. Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
As long as you get something good out of it.
Yes, sir. Now, of course, if we don't actually stay updated, it's going to lead to some serious
You're
trouble.
simple. If you're not updated, you're not a safe pilot.
Exactly, sir. Not as
And we can't play with safety at all.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Talking about safety, sir, what is the one of the most challenging flights that you've ever had to endure in terms of flight conditions, emergency situations? Any most challenging flight that you had to endure?
the most challenging is mainly the weather.
Right, sir.
That's something which is beyond our scope of control.
Right.
And especially the weather into an arrival airport. For example, the most unforgettable Calicut air crash.
Right. Right.
It just happened right after my landing.
Oh, you were there on.
Yeah, I
on
was
ground?
there. I land just one before him was mine.
Wow.
And once we were stepping out, we get to hear that. So the weather was really challenging. So that is something that you can't hold towards it.
Exactly.
Obviously, you have an option always to divert. You got to be super on the edge of your seat to conduct a safe flight operations.
Oh, so you were there when it happened in Calicut.
Yeah, it's quite.
They do say aviation is a small world. I didn't realize it was this small.
It's a horrific feel.
Right. I mean,
Let's not talk negative. Let's
of
let's
course.
pump it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure thing. Sure thing.